What is up, heroes? Today I am going to be going over whether or not I would recommend the Royalton Suites Cancun Resort and Spa. I stayed at the Royalton Resort and Spa for 8 days a few months ago, and it was an excellent experience. And I just want to go over some of the pros and cons that I found with the Royalton Suites Cancun. I stayed there when it had just been open for a month or two, so it was pretty new. There was still some stuff going wrong, and they're still trying to figure out some of the kinks that were going on. But basically, when we arrived to the Royalton, we got there and there was no elevators working. And it's a very high resort. So, there's a lot of different floors. And we were on one of the higher floors and we had to walk all the way up in the heat. So it sucked like the first little bit. But they told us that as a result of the elevators not working, that they would actually provide us with a lobster and steak dinner in the buffet the first night because of the fact that the elevators weren't working. So that was great. We're like, okay, well, let's go get the lobster. So we go up to the buffet, and sure enough, the buffet was packed and all the lobster was gone. So that kind of sucked, and even though they had guaranteed us that you would get the steak and lobster dinner, you didn't actually get that because they only had a limited amount of lobster. And so that part was like kind of like a false promise and didn't really start the trip up off on the right foot. But after that, everything overall was pretty good. In terms of the actual resort, this is what it looks like from the outside. So as you're walking in from or driving in from the Cancun Strip, this is what you'll see at night. It's pretty neat. It's all lit up and looks pretty cool. This actually looks like it's completely finished now. When we were there, they were still doing some construction on the outside of this, but it looks like it's all done now. Would I recommend this resort? Yes, I definitely would recommend it, but just keep in mind that it's quite a small resort. So you're not going to get, like, for example, I've stayed at the Barcello before in Riviera Maya, and that's like a massive resort. There's like four different quadrants and stuff. This is a lot more like, feels like a hotel, so just keep that in mind. It definitely feels more like a hotel than a resort. I mean, you have everything that you need there. You have multiple bars and you have multiple restaurants and buffets and the pools. There's everything that you need in a resort, but in terms of the feel and based on the size of it, it definitely feels a lot more like a hotel than a resort, to me at least. So let's go over some of the stuff that they actually say on their website. So, dream bed. So, were the beds comfy? Yeah, the beds definitely were comfy. We stayed in two separate rooms. Stayed in one that was the ocean view room to start with, and then ended up in the presidential suite at the end of the stay. And so, the presidential suite was great because you had your own mini bar. You had your own little wet bar as well, where you could pour drinks right there, and that was pretty neat. A lot bigger room, and that one actually was facing away from the ocean. But when you're facing away from the ocean, it's not actually that bad because you can still see the ocean in the distance, and then there's like a little lake that you can also see. So you still will see water when you're looking the opposite way from the ocean. So if you're not desperately in need of that ocean view, then I don't recommend spending the extra, and I would focus on getting a better room instead. You can get like the presidential suite. It was awesome. So I'd highly recommend that, and the beds were comfy in both rooms. Free Wi-Fi throughout the whole resort, so that is true, and the connectivity was actually really good, so I had no issues with that all around the resort, and that's probably partially because the resort is quite small, so you do get that better connectivity, so that was great. Sports event guaranteed. Guarantee that they'll play at their sports bar any of the sports games that you want to watch. We didn't have any big sporting events going on when we were there, so didn't run into this, but I'm sure that is the case. Here's their little 1 minute video so you can see it on their website, but I've also made some other videos on my page when I was actually at the Royalton Resorts uh, that go over like a tour of the actual resort. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out on my page. So here's the accommodations. So there's the luxury accommodations, which are the regular accommodations, and then there's the Diamond Club. We were not part of the Diamond Club, but I think if I was to go back to the Royalton Suites Cancun, I would definitely do the Diamond Club because you get a private section on the when you're walking down to the beach on the left side. You get the blue chairs, and basically what we found is it was really difficult to find seats on the right side where the non-Diamond Club members sat. And so if you're looking to get an umbrella, which on a hot Cancun day you're going to need if you want to spend a full day at the beach, then I would recommend getting the Diamond Club because it was really hard to find, and the Diamond Club had a lot of empty seats because it is a bit more money. But I would definitely recommend that as opposed to getting the ocean view. So that's just my personal recommendation. For their luxury accommodations, let's see what they show here. So this must be like one of their top suites. So they have the luxury junior suite, so that's what we were in to start with, the luxury junior suite ocean view. And I actually have a video that shows the view from the room, both in a rainstorm and just a view of the actual ocean from that room. So check that out if you haven't already. And then they have the luxury family suite. So if you're traveling with your family, obviously go with something like this. You can either get the ocean view or sunset view. And then this is what we went to for the last 3 or 4 nights of the trip, the luxury presidential 1 bedroom suite. So we decided to upgrade and got that upgrade. So that was great. And it's so like if you look, this is a 600 square foot room and this is 1227. So it's over double the size of the regular room. It was massive. You have your living room when you walk in, and then you have your bar, and there's 2 bathrooms, and then there's also then you walk into the bedroom, and there's a big jacuzzi tub, and then a separate shower and a separate little room for the toilet. So that was great, and then there's the luxury presidential 2 bedroom suite, which obviously if you're traveling as a group, this would be great because you can have a maximum occupancy of 8 people. And then Diamond Club, so there's a Diamond Club Junior Suite, Diamond Club Presidential, and then the Diamond Club Chairman's Suite, and the Chairman's 3 bedroom, and then a Chairman's 4 bedroom suite. So when I was there, I was saying that we were filming some videos for promoting the Royalton because they were obviously very new at that point, and I asked if the one of the managers if I could go into the chairman's 4 bedroom suite. And actually, at the time, the owner of Royalton, or the owner of this resort, I'm not sure if it was the owner of Royalton or the owner of this particular resort, but his sister was staying there. So they were making sure that no one would go in there, obviously, because she was the sister of the owner. So, anyways, couldn't get into that suite to show you that, but apparently it's pretty amazing and has like a pool table and everything in there. So for the restaurants, let's just open these up. There's 4 different restaurants. In terms of like, there's obviously the sports bar, but this doesn't really count as a restaurant. But the Gourmet Marché is the buffet. Jade was the Asian cuisine. The culinary experience is extra money. We didn't do that. The Hunter Steakhouse and a Agave, and then there's Grazie, which is the Italian restaurant. So I'll go over what I thought of each of these in terms of the food. So for the Gourmet Marché, The food was excellent. I was really impressed. You can sit over here. I'm not gonna scroll over, but you can sit over there right close to the windows there, and you get an amazing ocean view. And then if you're in this kind of middle area, just keep in mind that the wind does blow through there quite a bit. So we had a couple times where some of our food would blow over or whatever, but not a big deal when it's a buffet. Next was the Jade Asian cuisine, and I ordered the General Tao chicken. And honestly, I was a little disappointed with the Jade Asian cuisine. It was not what I expected, and it was just kind of bland, and was not too impressed with this restaurant. Maybe if I would have tried something else, I would have liked it, but I did not really enjoy my General Tao chicken. So just keep that in mind. The Score Sports Bar, I don't really consider this a restaurant. It was more just like a bar, but they definitely did still have good food in there. I ordered a steak one night and it was really good, and then had the burgers. The burgers were really good as well. So I would recommend that. They have cool things going on at night. I remember they had karaoke, and then they had a trivia night. So they try to do lots of fun stuff in there at night. So I definitely check that out if you are going to be going to the Royalton Suites. Like I said, didn't do this, but I've heard good things about it. So maybe if you're willing to spend some extra money, give that a try. The Hunter Steakhouse, definitely my favorite restaurant. We ate there 3 different times, so definitely recommend that one if you're going to pick any of them. If you do like steak, had their steak multiple times, and it was really good, and the mashed potatoes were really good as well there. So I really enjoyed that one. Agave Mexican cuisine was great as well. Really enjoyed the authentic Mexican cuisine. The only thing that I would say is in the Gourmet Marché buffet, you could get very similar meals to what you could get at the Agave. So if you're looking to eat Mexican food when you're in Mexico, obviously, you can get it without having to wait or without having to reserve the Agave, and you can just go and eat that Mexican food right at the Gourmet Marché. So, in terms of actually sitting down for it, I would have probably not done it because you can just get a lot of the same stuff right at the Gourmet Marché, and I did enjoy the food there. And last but not least, the Italian cuisine, the Grazie, and this was honestly not that great either. So I would say I really liked two of the restaurants, and then the other two were all right. But the Grazie was basic, and you can get like custom pastas at the Gourmet Marché, so you don't really need to worry about going to this restaurant either. If you do really like steak, I would focus on doing this and go there multiple times. The nice thing at the Royalton Suites Cancun is you can go to as many a la carte dinners like these ones as you want, so you can eat there every single night, which is great because in other resorts that I've been at, you can only do like, if you're staying a week, you can only do like 3, and you have to reserve everything, whereas this one you don't require any reservations. So that was really nice. A couple of the times we went to the Hunter Steakhouse and we were told we don't need any reservations, and then we still had to wait like half an hour, so that was kind of annoying. So just keep that in mind. Next is Diamond Club. So, like I was saying, you get a better view, you get better rooms if you do stay in the Diamond Club, but then you get access to your own private pool. This is the Diamond Club pool right here, and you get your own separate pool bar, and you do get access to more top shelf drinks, higher end drinks, and you get access to that separate beach area, and then you also get access to the level 18 area where there's multiple pools up there, and 2 bars, and some different food and stuff that does cost money, but it's well worth it as well. We did have access, even though we weren't part of the Diamond Club, to the level 18 for our whole stay, so that was great, and I really enjoyed going up there. So Diamond Club upgrade. So this kind of goes over everything that you get access to, and there is definitely some upgrades as a result of this. So like I said, if I went back, I would do the Diamond Club, and then you can also get the butler service, which is even more high end, and actually a couple people that we met when we were there in Cancun had the butler service and really recommended it. So uh, I'd look into either of those for sure. Bars and entertainment. So there's multiple bars there. There's the Martini Mix, which is like a martini bar. There was some really good martinis there, so that was pretty neat. The Cafe Lounge is like just like a coffee shop, and you can get gelato there as well. Lobby bar, where we spent most of our time. It's just in the main lobby when you walk in. It's just on the left side, and that was a great bar. The bartenders there were awesome, so I would recommend that one. Dips Pool Bar was just a typical pool bar, and then there's actually a another bar right in the pool. This one's actually outside the pool to the right, but there is another one in there. And then obviously with Diamond Club, you get access to that separate Diamond Club bar in the Diamond Club pool. There was quite a bit of entertainment. There was like shows each night, and they really tried to get the crowd into it and stuff. So that was pretty neat. There was your typical Michael Jackson show, which was pretty neat. And yeah, I think the entertainment was pretty good overall. The level 18 rooftop cabana lounge is like you get an insane view of the ocean, as you can see here in the background. So you're sitting in a pool, and then you got that amazing view of the crystal blue water like that. So that was pretty neat. And you get like 360-degree views. So yeah, you can walk around and get amazing views. You can purchase these cabanas, which were neat, but I never actually purchased them. You get this rooftop pool. You can eat and drink. Like I said, you can eat and drink different meals that you do have to pay for, but we did try that and it was well worth it. So yeah, you can see there's a video of it here if you do go on the Royalton site. And then the spa, we did a massage, and that was pretty neat because you get access to this separate actually right here, yeah, this like it's like a hot tub, and then these blow water really fast, and it's kind of like a massage. This one not as much, but these ones blow it pretty hard, and you can go right under it and get a bit of a massage before your massage, and then you have access to that after as well. So you can decide whether or not you want to go there before or after or both. And we did both because it was great. And the massage itself was actually really good, so I would highly recommend the spa if you do get the opportunity. And so, yeah, overall, um, given my experience staying at the Royalton Suites Cancun, I would highly recommend it. In terms of rating it out of 10, it was about an 8.5 out of 10. There's a couple things like those two restaurants that I didn't really enjoy, the elevator issue, and the fact that they told us that we were going to get lobster when we didn't. That was kind of the bit of the downfalls. But overall, in terms of like everything else, the location of it, the oh, that's one last thing that I'll mention is you're actually right on the Cancun Strip there. So if you do go off the resort, walk off the resort, you're right close to a bunch of different nightlife, Coco Bongo and stuff like that. So make sure if you do go off the resort, you check that out because that was really neat to see, and you're right in that great resort area. So yeah, overall, 8.5 out of 10. Highly recommend it. If you do stay there, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know how you liked it because I like hearing other people's takes on staying at the Royalton Suites Cancun. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making future videos on them and may even go back to the Royalton Suites and make more videos when I'm there because I did really enjoy my experience there. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more.